To begin with, the rules of life are unalterable and unbreakable. We play the game on the playing field of the mind, not the playing field of space and time, since the real crucial moves we make are in our heads. So, what are its objectives? There are two of them. To increase awareness. More particularly, the awareness of more significant things, the realization of desires. It is up to us to decide what these aspirations are. Simple, right? Despite the small size of the register, wisely accomplishing the two main aims takes a lifetime of experience. The use of our mind and inner conversations to fulfill our wants is one of the many laws that govern life. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7, NKJV. However, we must first become conscious of our brain activity before we can fulfill our desires. What internal dialogue do you have with yourself? The answer to this question will solidify your understanding of why you are where you are and where you want to go. We can deduce that by altering our inner conversations, we effect internal changes that are reflected in exterior changes that shape our life. That is to say, if you often modify what you talk to yourself about, you will change yourself inwardly. And we've all heard that internal transformation leads to exterior change because there is no one or nothing else to change but oneself. With that in mind, remember that your inner conversations should be founded on the assumption that your wish has been met. Neville describes an incident he had with a highly wealthy businessman in the book. The philanthropist had given him a short narrative about how he set goals. His life objective was to make good use of money, not simply to acquire a large sum of money. This meant that he was sitting on a substantial sum of money. The reason that so few people achieve their goals is that they think about them, they think about wanting to attain them. This is dangerous because it just indicates the absence of it. Additionally, there is a lack of practice. Without practical skills, even the most astute of persons with a thorough comprehension of the subject would not see results. It is a sin to know but not practice. It is to fail to achieve your aim. Make it a habit to believe that the kingdom of heaven is inside you. I'm going to read a short tale from the book, Seedtime and Harvest by Neville Goddard, about a woman whose three-dimensional reality was the polar opposite of what she desired, and how she overcame it. Pay attention to what she did. This is what one woman did to untangle herself from the tracks that were preventing her from moving in the direction she desired. She had kept herself apart from the three people she cared about the most for 2 years. She had a squabble with her daughter-in-law, who had ordered her to leave her house. She had not seen or heard from her son, daughter-in-law, or grandchild in those 2 years, despite sending her grandson numerous gifts in the interim. She had a mental chat with her daughter-in-law every time she thought of her family, which was on a daily basis, blaming her for their argument and accusing her of being selfish. She suddenly understood she was the reason of the protracted silence after attending one of my lectures one night. It was this exact speech on the game of life and how to play it, and that she, and she alone, had to do something about it. Recognizing that her goal was to rekindle the wonderful relationship she had before, she set herself the goal of entirely transforming her inner dialogue. She created 2 beautiful, sweet letters to her in her thoughts that night, one from her daughter-in-law and the other from her grandson. She read them over and again in her head till she fell asleep in the happy atmosphere of having received the letters. She did this fictitious deed every night for 8 nights. She received one envelope containing 2 letters on the 9th day, one from her daughter-in-law and the other from her grandson. They were soft, loving letters inviting her to see them, almost exact reproductions of the ones she had imagined in her head. She had purposefully and lovingly used her thoughts to bend the tracks to which she was tethered in the direction she desired, towards a pleasant family reunion. Above all else, their laws of assumption, consciousness, and attraction leave the law of word in the dust. Pay special attention to it, though. I have a strong suspicion that it's exactly what the great majority of individuals who are perpetually struggling require. Change what you talk to yourself about on a regular basis. I can personally assure you that it will work. It will also affect the way you see yourself for the better, in addition to achieving regular success. It will put a stop to the downward spiral that many people experience when they first learn of the law. It certainly did for me.